Now, if
There
we
you
just,
go.
as soon as it comes up, there it is. It seems like it takes longer every time we push the button. It takes longer and longer. Hello, it is good to see everybody today here at Wood Spun Round. We've been busy in the shop today and gotten some things done. Let me just turn. Well, let me bring the guys in and well, slide over. There we go. There. Okay, I know I pushed it. There it is. Finally. Holy cow. Anyway, we've been
Technology, right?
got Wayne and Mark fresh off the water, trying to get his land legs back, and Ruby is in fresh out of the show. And I saw from Rob it was a busy weekend, but y'all had a good time. You said
Oh, it was fantastic. First
good,
wood show we've had in 5 years and extremely well attended.
great, great.
Excellent.
Good.
I got down here in the shop today and did a couple of things. Swept up for one thing. I was knee deep in shavings because I've been turning these for 3 days. Going from rough, I roughed them down. Well, in fact, I can show you. I took a log, roughed them down to that, and from that they go to that. And so,
Nice.
trying to get a whole bunch for two, no, three different stores. Plus, I got a show this weekend. I want to take a bunch, but then so we did that. Got that going. Got practiced up there, and then I haven't turned a bowl for about 2 weeks, and so I was telling them I did a little bit of practice, just a little one, and that's a little. Let me get it so you can see it real well. Nice little crotch piece, a little tiny piece, but it makes a nice little bowl.
It's
As you
brilliant.
can see, it is small, but it'll look nice and folks will enjoy it. For today, I'm going to go ahead and throw you guys back in the background there.
Good
Uh, for
idea.
today, for today, we're going to work on this chunk. This is a bit of a little bit bigger piece of wood than that little crotch piece was. Get my camera squared away again. Um, This is one of my favorite woods, partly for the smell, partly for the grain that comes out of it. And you can't see it very good at all, but this is a piece of camphor. The grain will become more apparent. This has been weathered a good bit. I don't know how old it was when I got it. I got it, golly, 3 years ago. It's been sitting under my lathe ever since, partly because my wife doesn't like it when I turn camphor. The odor from the camphor, it's like Vicks Vapor Rub on steroids. It is strong. So when we get done here today, I will be sweeping up, vacuuming up, have the back door open with the fan blowing out, getting all this air, this odor out of here. I love it. My sinuses will be open for the first time in forever. But
I was
other
going
than
to
that,
say, I was going to say, you can send me all your shavings.
I
I
tell
love
you
the
what,
smell of it downstairs.
they will it will work to clean your sinuses out for sure. In fact, I may have to clean up while we're turning this. Sometimes it gets too strong under my feet, and just moving my feet, it lifts that odor up and it starts to burn. So I have to get out of it for just a second. But anyhow, that's what we're going to do today. While I'm getting it mounted, I'm going to start off with it on a worm screw. I've already got it in. I'm going to bring the tailstock up and get it rounded. I'm not sure if I'm going to put a tenon or a recess, but I'll do one or the other. While I'm doing that, I'll let one of these guys let us know who all's in the chat today.
That's going to be Mark. Mark hasn't done anything for ages, so he's
Oh
leading
no,
the
I've
chat tonight.
I've done nothing for the last 2. I've done nothing. I've just been busy getting engaged. Thank you. Right. So I'm reading off the participants list. So if I do miss you out, it's Wayne's fault. AGK Woodworks, Andy the Valley Woodturner, Anthony Green, Barry Chitty, Brian El Tornero de Madeira, Chris Walters, Dances with Oddvox, Door 60, Gerard the French Turner, Hodgepodge Woodworks, JP Woodwork, Klingspor Abrasives, Lucy Bundy Rowe, Mike Hugh from Ilminster, Old Man River Woodturner, Roger Kent, Spun by Green Jeans, Steve Hale, Susie the Swiss Woodturner, Tim Ponder, Todd at Glenclove Teeth. Todd at Glenclove Woodworks. Ward Wilson, Weave Owl, Wivey Woodshed. Where's all the wood butcher? And somebody else popped in there. Door 60. Chris Walters. Anthony Green. I think that's everybody on the list.
Very
Grand.
good.
Missed you.
JP's in there. And he
Yeah,
said,
take me.
is Wayne wearing braces? You
Rock on,
jerking, man.
Tommy. Rock on, Tommy.
It is good to have everybody. We're going to start turning. It's running 9:20 right this second, and it will speed up as we get a little of this unbalanced power off of here.
How big did you say it was, Doug, or didn't you? I can't remember.
I don't think I did. And it's marked on
Someone's
here, so
bound
it's
to
easy
ask.
to take. Yeah, absolutely. It is 12 by 3 7/8. So 12 by 4. And it already smells very loud.
Good to see you back, Gerard. Haven't seen you for a while. I haven't
Absolutely.
seen any of you for a while.
Wow.
Did you get Lucy there?
Yeah, said hello to Lucy.
He said,
Potato.
Grand. Potato.
Potato. Door 60. No door.
Yeah, Jamie just said, what's Mark going to wear now? Someone else is going to be wearing the trousers in the house.
Got me tutu. Could wear me tutu.
That's right.
These shavings are coming off of here, and they are chewing my hand up.
Right, Mike is asking, didn't mothballs used to smell of camphor?
Yes.
Was it camphor?
Yes, they did.
Right, okay.
I don't remember mothballs smelling like camphor. I believe you. They've got their own
Rob-
smell.
Depended on the brand that you got.
Yeah, maybe.
Now, Mark, are
Rob-
you going to be donating your pool for the bachelor's party? Doug, we just lost your camera.
Doug,
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You still hear me?
we can still hear you.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Try a different camera. Bear with us, everybody. We're having slight technical difficulties.
Okay.
This-
Do you have the in view now?
No.
No,
No.
Okay.
no, we've got nothing. This seems to be happening quite
Got
a
the
lot.
overhead?
No,
Well, what in the world?
Doug, go into OBS, turn off virtual cam, turn it back on.
Okay. That's where I'm at. So turn it off. Count the patience. Turn it back on. And you still got nothing. Wow.
Personally, I
what
blame
in the
Jamie.
world?
Yeah, it happened when he came in, didn't it?
Yeah, it's JP's problem. It's JP's fault.
Andrew
Well.
has said from AGK, go out of StreamYard and come back in and see if that works.
Well, that's a good possibility. I can do I'll do OBS and StreamYard.
That means
Be right
Ruby's going to
back.
come up on the screen because she made the rookie mistake of being the first one in.
Uh-oh.
There you
Oh,
are.
There
dear.
you go.
See, rookie mistake.
Yeah, well, now you tell me.
You didn't do
Right,
your
Q&A
hair and-
time. It's Q&A time. Has anyone in the chat got any questions for Ruby, Mark, and myself?
Doesn't look like it. That or they're having trouble coming up with questions.
Hodgepodge likes your tree, people, Ruby.
Oh, thank you. They were, this is the regular fellow. And these are the
There he
ones that
is.
These are the ones for Christmas.
That worked. There you go.
Yep. Now we've got Doug back.
I'm happy that worked. I was a little panicked there for a second. Anyway, okay, we're still going good. Still going. Look at. Oh, let me turn that back off. I want you to see. This is why I love camphor. Look at that
That's
beautiful grain.
beautiful.
And all
Yeah.
we've done is just knock the highlights off. As we get into it, it'll become even more so. Anyhow, okay, on with what you're talking about. Whatever that happened to be.
Todd, no immediate plans. Going for a long engagement.
And Rob from Copper Owl's here. Or did you already say that?
No, that's fine. Rob, hello, Rob. I'll remember that, Lucy. Thanks very much. Cheers. Wayne and I won't take that as a personal insult, will we, Wayne?
I don't know.
Not at all. Not at all.
Given a choice, I would rather see you guys. Okay.
To tell you, I think Lucy is another one that's missed her optician's appointment, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Albert's here. Evening, Albert.
Hey, Albert.
Yep.
Getting it.
Okay, I have a question here. Do you think that a curved tool like the Allen Mayon one would work with a curved bar with a diamond carbide tip? I think it would work, but it's going to have to be a very small tip unless you're doing it on a very large piece of wood.
It'd be a bit grabby as well, wouldn't it?
No, not necessarily. The tree person, in answer to Robert's question, one of them was turned out and the other one was just carved out with a bandsaw. And then his nose was turned.
James Crawford's in. Good evening, James.
Oh,
Hey,
James.
James.
And Roy's in as well, I believe. Hey, Roy.
Hey, Roy. All of you, welcome, welcome, welcome.
I actually had more tree people made up, but a couple of them walked away to find new homes on the weekend. Yeah, the TI-7 would work, Jamie.
All right, we're getting somewhere now.
When I did the course with Alain Mayon, we actually took old bowl gouges, we heated them up, and reformed them to make the tool.
I thought about doing that for a couple of weeks.
Roy's the boys in. Hello, Roy.
Now that's cutting quite nicely, Doug.
Thank you. It's chewing my hand up. I can tell already tomorrow it's going to be a little scabby along that little finger.
When I get a piece of wood like that, that's when I sometimes put a glove on that hand.
Yeah, I do quite often. I tried several years ago. I stopped using a glove for the safety issues. But here lately, every once in a while, I've started going back to using one just for a little while, just while I get this roughing stage done. This is big enough that I've got to shift, and I'm not used to having to do that. Good night.
Tell you what, Doug, you've got an opportunity there to do a really nice design at the top there.
Yeah, I was going to leave a little bit of a bead here or a little bit of a rim.
Do you know where that high point is? Just at the end of the curve.
Here?
Yeah, if you go in from there and create almost like a cove. I saw Kerry Corey doing that the other day on one of his bowls. It looked beautiful.
Absolutely.
Right.
Go ahead.
A couple of things. I don't know if we mentioned Douglas being in.
Hello, Douglas.
There was somebody else came in there I've missed. Lucy has asked a question. Is Doug's sound quality not good, or is it my internet? We actually said this before the live started, Lucy, and Doug did put his headset back on charge prior to us going live. Then it sounded okay once we started going live, but it is starting to break up a little bit as it was before, but it's something that we can live with.
Okay.
And Raymond Wise is getting his second cataract operation on Friday. Good luck, Raymond. Hope it all goes right for you. Sure it will.
And Ward's in as well. I think that's who else I forgot. Ward Wilson.
Hello, Ward.
Right, JP said, my headset does this. Try turning it off, turn it back on, and let it reconnect to Bluetooth.
Yeah, Dances with Aardvarks had asked about losing the temper on the tool when you heat them up and reshape them into another tool. And to retemper the tool isn't bad. You take the tool to cherry red, and what you do is you put it into a special oil called a quenching oil. Don't put it into regular oil because you'll have an explosion and fire. And don't put it into water or it'll become very brittle.
Mike Evans has just come in. Good evening, Mike.
Mike, nice to
Hi,
see
Mike.
you, mate.
Standing back, taking a little look at the curve here. I got a little lump right in the middle of this cove. Well, I'll turn the tool over. Does that sound any better, folks?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Susan
Hi,
Gilk has
Susan.
just come in.
Hiya,
Good
Susan.
evening, Susan. And she's from Florida.
Hey, Susan.
She is Safety Sue from Florida.
Yeah. Safety Sue is our we'll call her our safety officer for Worldwide Woodturners. Good opportunity to share and just let you all know who she is and advertise Worldwide Woodturners. We have a great time on Wednesday nights. It starts at 7 o'clock Eastern. And
that is midnight UK time, and it's
Great.
it's a brilliant group, and it's a brilliant meeting every Wednesday night. It really is.
One of those deals where you come in when you're able and feel, when you want to, and you participate as much or as little as you want to. You leave when you want to. We're easy to get along with, folks.
It's a very good show and tell. They always have a show and tell every week. It's a very good show and tell, and we have a demonstrator on every week as well.
Jim Selby's just joined. Hi, Jim.
Hi, Jim.
He's another one of our folks. In fact, he takes care of he is one of the folks we do as an online club. We do have an ongoing project of turning freedom pins for our military folks. And Jim takes care of our Navy folks through the bases there in Jacksonville and in that area in general. Does a good job for us.
Oh, that's good.
Now, I've got to say that the Worldwide Woodturners group is one of the only groups that I've seen that I belong to that actually have a barter page as well.
Yes. Doesn't get used a whole lot, but it does have a barter page, and it does work. We don't want anything for sale on there. All we want is what you're willing to trade. And so comes out real nice. If you have something that is surplus for you, maybe somebody else could use it. So, but there, lots of information. You can spend days on that website, which is worldwidewoodturners.org.
Hang on, I will just get the link.
All right, that'll be great. I'm going to go ahead and get
Now,
this.
when you go to their website, scroll down a little, and on the left you'll see two buttons. One where you can join the group, which is free, and another one where you can join the meeting.
In the
Mark S
join
has
the
just
button,
joined. Hello,
Hi,
Mark.
Mark.
the join the group button is really a bogus button because there's nothing to do other than show up.
True.
So show up. There's no fee. There's no charge. Totally free.
Yeah, Mark Stroughton's just come in. Good evening, Mark. And
Babes.
Hey, babes.
All right. Now, just for the sake of argument,
Never
I
stops
want to
being
do
funny, really, does it?
I'm going to put just a couple little bitty beads right on the edge of this recess just to dress it up a touch. This is the D-Way tool.
Can you change cameras so we can see the beads?
Can I change cameras?
Fingers
If you
crossed,
ask
everyone.
me.
Good luck.
Dun, dun,
Yay.
dun.
there you go.
Dun, dun,
Ye
dun.
of so little faith, Mark.
Yeah, I don't have any faith in technology.
Well, technology is one of those things. It's great when it works. My dad and I worked for the same organization, and I found out after I started, he was the last one in the entire organization to stop using flannel graph. If you don't know what flannel graph is, basically it's a board with like flannel on it, and then you have all your stuff to go onto it that you want people to see, and you add it bit by bit with a similar material so it'll stick. So it comes out quite interesting. That was before overhead projectors and all of that. But now he did switch to overhead projector. He would have the bulb in the projector itself, but also I felt a little, oh, there it is. He'd have the bulb in the projector, then he would have another one in the storage area in the projector, and he carried a third bulb in his satchel. So he was well prepared in case something happened. He did not trust.
I hated using OHP. I actually had a portable OHP that I used to carry about, but it was actually making up the slides. I absolutely detested making up the slides to do training with.
You know, he did a lot of those himself. But as he kind of went up the ladder, he had a secretary and he would kind of sketch out what he wanted and hand it to her and have her make them for him. It got comical there for a while.
Machine Nut Dell's in. Sorry, Ruby.
That's okay.
Who'd you say?
Machine Nut Dell.
Oh, okay.
Machine Nut Dell, yeah. I said this last week on my live. He started to come into a few lives now. Go and subscribe. He does some very, very interesting metal work and resin stuff.
Okay, almost there. I'm going to clean up just this little edge.
Robert says that kids have it so easy now with autosave and clouds.
Yeah, definitely.
That's why kids today don't have memories like we old folks.
Who are you?
Pardon?
What?
Pardon, Mark?
Hey, who are you?
I'm from back in the ancient times, Mark.
Yeah, me as well.
I used to remember phone numbers like crazy. Now, forget it. If it's not in my phone, I don't know it. Which is kind of sad, really.
To a degree, you're right. On
We
the other
moved here.
hand, I have far more phone numbers to remember now than I did back in the day.
That's true too. We moved here, and my son was 11, 12, something of that nature. We were getting ready to get him enrolled in school, and of course, every kid's supposed to know their phone number. Well, he couldn't get this one, so what did we do? We put the phone number to his memory by putting it to music, which is always the best way to remember something,
Yep, absolutely.
especially for a kid whose mind thinks he does everything in music, everything. So we put it to a little goofy tune, and in about 2 minutes, he had the phone number down pat. Every time I try to go over it with him, he'd look at me like, "You idiot! I already know this. Why do you want to keep going?"
We can't see what you're cutting, Doug.
So
Oh,
demanding.
Ben's just come in. Good evening,
Hello,
Ben.
Ben.
That's
Hi, Ben.
Benjamin.
Stand by your
Yeah.
beds.
I'm just cleaning up this curve a bit more. The sandpaper will probably take care of it, but I just
Well, I hope you're going to cut the top far enough down to get rid of most of that pith.
a lot
Right.
of it. Yes.
You
It'll
don't
become
So
a,
Lucy asked Ben a stupid question. What are you eating tonight? So the chat is probably going to turn to food now. And Ben replied to her that he's made curry and chips. Oh, Baz is in. Evening, Baz.
Yeah,
Buzz.
Baz.
Hi, boss.
Curry and chips. Oh, yeah, I could do that.
Sorry, Boz. This is camphor. I am not burning it.
I'll pass. I'll tell you what, you could core the center out and just send me the center.
If it was deeper, I probably would. I thought about that earlier today. I'm going to turn this vacuum on, so I'll mute myself and do this little bit of sanding here.
Right, Lucy said sorry, Wayne. No need to be sorry, Lucy. No need.
Wayne, don't ever pass up the opportunity of a woman apologizing to you.
Well, that's true. It doesn't happen that often.
Yeah, Robert wants to know if he can zoom out.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, I really like the smell of camphor when I had two pieces I brought home once from the southern states, and my house
Now-
smelled absolutely great for about 3 months.
We were talking about the smell of mothballs earlier on. Didn't and I think it still happens now. When people make furniture for the bottom of the drawers, didn't they used to use cedar because that stops moths as well?
Yes, well,
Yeah.
that's why they made cedar chests as well. The inside was lined with cedar. The only thing is, if you use cedar inside something like that, don't put a finish on it, because if you do, then it doesn't keep the insects out.
Okay, there you go.
You need to let the
Another bit
natural
of cool information.
you need to let the natural odor and oils of the wood keep the insects at bay. I had a friend once that lined their entire closet with cedar, then went and put a heavy lacquer coat on top, and just totally defeated the whole purpose of having put
Yeah.
it in cedar.
Right, Machine Nodella said that's some nice wood, Doug.
Yes.
Ward Wilson has said now would be a great time to smash the like button.
Yeah.
Ben has said congrats on getting back from your holiday, Mark. Oh, and it wasn't getting married; he got engaged, Ben. But I understand where you're coming from on that one.
Thank you, Ben.
No, that's got
Bert,
beautiful green.
yeah, Bert's Bulls is in as well. Evening, Bert.
You can't see it, but there's a chunk out of it right there. So I'm going to have to change that shape just a little bit, take care of that. But that's not a problem. We're wood turners. We can do that. Man, that's aggravating. Okay, we'll fix it.
Well, when you do the top, you could fix it then.
There's a void right there.
I think you might have to come down to that line as your
Yeah.
Well, the void's not an issue. That chunk, I got the chunk out. I've taken care of that. But that, I can fix that real easy.
okay.
But let me
CA
get my
and
shape.
sawdust.
Let me get my shape.
And Heather's just come in. Good evening, Heather.
Hey,
Hey,
Doug,
Heather.
if you need to lose that rim, mate, don't worry about what I suggested. Just go with what you want.
And Ward has just sent me a thing saying that Bert's Ball is Michael. Good evening, Michael.
Hi, Michael.
Douglas has asked me a question. Is red cedar available here, as in the UK, as he really likes the colour contrast? I don't think it is, to tell you the truth. It is widely available in the US, but
Yes.
I don't think it is very common over here.
It's kind of like a few of the other trees that I've talked about here. It's a noxious weed for us. We you drive down the interstates, they're covered with it. The shoulders are covered with the stuff, and farmers want it off their land. So you do, but it does come up. It works up nice. Um, Back to what Ruby was saying, I had a friend who, when he and his wife got married, he had cedar trees cut off of his property as they were building their house. Took the trees to a mill, had lumber made out of those cedars, and built his wife all of her bedroom furniture.
Wow.
Excellent.
Well,
Now,
problem.
well,
6 months later, every bit of that furniture was in pieces because
all
all that
right.
wood was green.
Oh dear.
Okay. Yeah.
Now Marcel had a question. He has an SK114 with a 33 mil spindle thread. There are several companies that have adapters that go from 33 mil to 1 1/4 8.
Yes,
I think Nova is one of them.
absolutely.
I
Y'all,
think
they're
Record
cool to
Power
know.
probably does too.
I would imagine.
RDG Tools is another.
No, Marcel's in the US.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
RDG shipped to America.
All right. Okay. Sorry, Mark. Sorry. Anthony
Marcel, if
Green.
you'll go to Woodcraft or Rockler, either one, it'll be readily available for you.
Yeah.
Even Craft Supplies USA.
Craft
Yeah.
Supply.
Anthony Green also has a question. He was having a look online today at the Crown Mini Revolution tool. Has anyone got one? I don't personally have one, but he
Hmm.
would like to know the pros and cons. I
Sorry,
think
I
it's
don't have.
the Crown Mini Revolution is a small hollowing tool with a blade and I was going to say a blade protector. It's not a blade protector. It's a cut protector. I think like they're bigger hollowing tools,
Mm.
and they work pretty much the same as I nearly said the Hamlet ones. It's not the Hamlet ones.
The
Yeah.
woodcut ones.
Now, Doug,
Yes.
you are using coffee right now, correct?
Yes, ma'am. This is
Coffee
coffee
ground.
and thin CA. I
And-
started putting some medium on, and it just rolled off.
Okay.
The thin is the chicken.
Rich Baldock has indicated that at Nova they make those adapters
Yes,
So
they do.
anyone that sells the Nova equipment, you would be able to get an adapter
He's
from.
he's put the SKU in for it as well.
Yeah.
9083.
That was why I suggested Woodcraft or Rockler, because they both carry them. So you can go to one of those stores and pick one up. Rarely ever have to order one. If you have to order, you can get it from who knows, anywhere.
Right. Now, Matt Harbour's come in. Good evening, Matt.
Hey, Matt.
He says he doesn't fill the holes, he leaves them for character. And another thing I would suggest that is if you are going to use CA glue, super glue, whatever you want to call it, on a piece of wood, make sure, two ways of doing this, make sure you do it before you do the final cut, or if you've done the final cut, spray some sand and sealer on there before you put the CA on there. That way, you won't get staining on the rest of the wood where the super glue has gone into it.
Exactly.
Now, when I fill the holes, I use 2-part epoxy colored slightly with a bit of acrylic paint. And the reason I don't leave the holes on a bowl is that if foodstuffs are used in the bowl, the food inspection people can come down on you for having cracks and holes in your bowls because it can trap bacteria. I encountered that the very first show I did, and the fellow came up and introduced himself as one of the food inspectors, and he made that comment, and I've never forgotten it.
Yep.
Now, Ben's just put in there and said, guys, you really need to try UV resin. Now, UV resin is an absolutely brilliant thing. It's not like using the ordinary 2-part type of resin stuff. Basically, you paint it on, you put a black light over it or a UV light over it, and it basically hardens it up. You can get really, really small type things for using on jewelry. You can get bigger ones that we could actually use in wood turning, and it is excellent stuff.
All right. I've taken a smoothing cut on the outside and then straightened up my cove a bit with my Easy Wood finisher, and that is, we've gotten rid of all the staining, and it's smooth there. It's ready to go.
Right, Douglas Mungham's got a question. He says he's after an M2 to M2 lathe alignment tool. Any ideas? Yes, Axminster sell them. Or use a 60-degree cone in your tailstock, nothing in your spindle, so no chuck on and no drive centers, and just drive the 60-degree into the spindle with the headstock unlocked, and that'll line it up for you.
Yeah, excellent. In which case, you don't need to spend any money.
Yep.
It's a good tip, Mark.
But if you want a purpose-made one, Axminster sell them. I think they're about 12 quid.
And Technitool makes that tool also.
Yeah. And
I
Ben
can't tell you
Jammins
where I got mine.
Then Ben Jammins just said, when I run out of hairstyling gel, I often use UV resin. It styles my hair for weeks. Thanks for that, Ben.
Like we believe that Ben's got hair.
Yeah.
Really, Ben?
Oh dear.
Too funny.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe I ought to try some.
Now for Sue and Matt's edification, I never sand with. Well, I rarely sand without my vacuum on. It's just because it picks up my mic and it's oh so loud. Oh no, that was out of order.
Blimey, Axminster 25 quid for those things.
Right. Alex has said that he got his from Kronos. Kronos is a very good site. I don't know if that's another American one, but it's certainly a UK one, and it is very good for a lot of stuff.
Kronos is available here through Spirocraft.
All right, okay. Ian and Shed, good evening, Ian. Haven't seen you for a while. Yandles have them for £17. Axemen seem to be £25. That's
And-
still like Mark's idea.
Roy,
Stick your live center in the tailstock and bring it up to the headstock.
Roy has indicated you can get a UV resin with the torch on Amazon for basically 15 quid.
£15, yeah. Thanks for that, Roy.
I quite often can't find my alignment tool. I put it down and I can't remember where. I just use the 60-degree center. I've never had a problem. You do a KISS test afterwards and it's bang on.
Yeah,
I'm
that works
surprised
great.
I'm surprised it lets you near that, Mark, for you to
Hey?
do a KISS test.
Well, I've got to be careful now, I suppose. I'm actually officially taken.
I have an issue with my tailstock won't come up close enough because I've got
Yeah.
a break in my bedways.
Yes,
So-
Ben, I did say quid. If I said dollars, they would have corrected me. And all last weekend at the wood show, I had to keep translating from British English to Canadian English. The guys kept using terms, and you could see the blank look on the audience's face, like, what is he talking about? It's really quite funny that we all speak a different English.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Rob.
there's a warning for you, Mark.
No, he's wrong. They've been throwing themselves at me for years. I've just been swatting them away, keeping quiet about it.
Oh yeah, right.
Kim's a very lucky woman.
No. To tell you the truth, that is probably very true. What Mark said there, they have been throwing themselves at him for years and years and years. That's why he belongs to Help the Blind. Oh, thanks for that, Roy.
Oh dear.
Roy just sent me a link. Thank you very much for that, Roy.
Guide
I'll
Dogs
have a look later
Anonymous.
on. Yeah. The thing is, all these women that were throwing themselves at Mark, all the guide dogs actually laid down on the back and started laughing, so they knew. They totally knew they were wrong. Now, Ian in the Shed has got a very good question here. If you soak the wood in UV resin, are you able to put a fine thread on it? Now, if you actually soak the wood in CA glue, thin CA glue, you can actually put a thread on it. I've seen Simon Hope doing this with sycamore. Okay, it's a fairly fine grain, but it's not the best for doing threads on. But I saw him do it. I'm sure it was a video. I didn't see him do it live. I'm sure it was a video. But what he did was turn the initial thread and then put some thin CA glue on and turn the thread again. So he got a better cut.
Yeah, I found sometimes wood stabilizer, if you soak it in that and let it dry, that'll help as well for chasing threads.
Now, Heather has said, I noticed that you looked a little confused this weekend, Ruby. Now I know why.
Well, part of the reason I looked a little confused is that I had a 5-page script for how everything was going to play for the weekend and doing the live broadcast from the show. And the guys kept going off script. And I kept trying, and they wrote the script. And I'm trying to figure out, okay, now what do you want me to do?
Right. So was that the breakfast meeting that you had to go over the script?
Yes.
Yeah.
Blimey, are we going to have to one of those at Harrogate, Wayne? A breakfast,
No.
pre-production breakfast meeting?
No, we're not. No.
Oh, okay. stuff.
We're going to we're going to wing it. Oh,
We're going to wing it, are we?
Yeah, we're going to wing it. I might wing it. You're not very good at wings, so I don't know how that's going to work.
We could always have a post demonstration debrief in the pub. That
Yeah,
sounds good.
that'll happen.
Now Gerard made an interesting comment about on TV5, the French-Canadian film or series played. They always put subtitles in French, as they use a French that is old and real French that we don't know.
Thank you,
And
Ian.
I had friends from France come to visit, and my neighbors who speak French here were afraid to talk to them because their French was so totally different, and they were afraid of not being understood.
We've got a couple of things on here now. Benjamin said Simon Hope could thread Weetabix. Yeah, he probably could.
Yeah.
And Robert from Hodgepodge has said, I tend to get my threads to behave, so I don't have to chase them. I just tell them to come back.
I'm surprised they listen to you, Robert.
Yeah, so
Well,
am I, to tell you the truth.
he's got Harry to enforce it, so.
I'll be honest, last week I thought I'd spend most of my week either speaking Spanish or Italian. I ended up speaking Portuguese most of the week.
Ah,
Nearly all the crew on that ship are from Brazil.
really?
And they really appreciated it when you didn't speak Spanish to them.
Yeah, I bet.
They can't stand it if you try and speak Spanish to them.
No problem, Ian. I'm pleased I could help.
And Lucy says it's no different going from the north to the south of England.
Oh, behave. We don't have any accents in the north of England at all, Lucy. None.
No, of course you don't.
Doug, when you start to make your cuts, can we get you to change the camera back to the other view?
Yeah. Yes.
Thanks. That was a request from Jim.
Not a problem, Jim. I was planning to do that anyway. But I just wanted you to see that I cut that rim, got it squared, and now I'm fixing. There's a little crack right in the rim that I may end up having to just take the whole thing off.
Oh, Shug's in.
Hello, Shug.
Shug.
And Ian in the shed has said, all the funny accents are down south.
You know, it's the same thing in the States. All the
Doug,
funny
can you go
accents
to the
are down
further away
south.
one, mate? That's the close-up, isn't it? That's better.
Yep.
There you go.
All right, let's see what we can do here.
You can see your body movement now as well.
It's actually nice to see Shug in because he is still having problems with his internet, and I believe he's not going to have full internet until sometime in November.
Oh my goodness.
It sounds about as useful as our system here.
Now, what happened with Shug was he decided to leave one provider, go with another provider, and the second provider all of a sudden turned around and said, well, we won't actually have all the services in place until November.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, oh, thank you.
Yeah, I don't understand why these companies do stuff like that. It's not uncommon though.
Now, Jared has said, when I came to Ireland 43 years ago and saw on TV, I think he's talking about Taggart, which is a Scottish police program. It took him a month to understand what they were talking about.
Taggart was brilliant. Everybody got napped.
Well, that would be like when my uncle used to come and visit. He never lost his Scottish brogue, and it was extremely strong. And it would
Now,
always take us a while to retune our ears to understand what he was saying.
one of the good things about Taggart is that the superintendent was called McVitie, and everybody used to call him the Biscuit.
Hmm.
You've got to be in the UK to understand that.
I was going to say, know your audience, Wayne. Know your audience.
Oh, Mike has said from Dancers, you should try watching The Boys from the Black Stuff. Oh, now that was a program to watch back in the, I believe it was the 80s. The Boys from the Black Stuff. This was a bunch of guys from around the Liverpool area who basically went out and tarmac roads, and it was actually
I went from Liverpool.
quite a sad series in a way.
You're all Geordies.
They weren't all Jordans. They were from Liverpool.
Were they heck?
Yes,
Buddies
they
of the
were.
Beatles.
What about Yozza?
Jimmy Nail, he was Geordie. The foreman, the fat guy, he was Geordie.
Yeah, but the others
The other fat one,
were
he was a Geordie.
the other. No, they were all from around the Liverpool area.
Hugo is going to be my friend.
Oh, Robert Hodgepodge has said, since we're talking about TV shows, I heard they're going to close Finding Gold on Oak Island. Right, Robert. Do you know the actual reason they are going to close that show? The whole reason they are going to close that show, and this probably happened a few years ago, they have dug so many holes on Oak Island, it's sunk.
The 2 or 3 times I watched that show, that's what I kept thinking. When's the island going to sink from all the holes they're
No,
digging?
I'll tell you, Doug, we had a chat thing going about 3 years ago, and Mark was in on this as well. We had a chat thing going about 3 years ago about Oak Island. Oh, man. What an awful TV program that is.
Oh, terrible. Terrible.
Oak Island, really. I'm going to say nothing more about the Oak Island, but I was wrong.
Hey, let me
There
just tell
There were four Liverpudlians and 2 Geordies. So
There you go.
For JP's sake, you saw, I'm sure, that I switched over to the EasyWood tool, and it is doing a much better job. That my bowl gouge is cutting, but it's just fighting me. This is not. I'm just easing through this wood.
Right, Ben is asking, how many is a couple of few? Now, obviously, you should be able to work this out, Ben.
that's clever of Sam.
A few is usually 3, a couple is 2, so a couple of few is 6.
I thought a few was 8.
No, a few's 3.
Oh, is it? Okay. There's several. Several is 8.
It's like the difference between all y'all and all y'all. You got to live in the South U.S. to understand that.
That's pretty much like a comedian over here, Mickey Flanagan. He's from London, and he talks about going out or at. Going at.
Yeah, you either go out or you go out.
Now, is that the rougher or the finisher you're using? The round or the square?
It's the round, the finisher.
Okay.
There we go.
Yep,
So it's the
just
big
want to
one.
make sure.
It's the big one.
Douglas, yeah, it was. Pat Roach. Bristol Palmer.
Where is? Well, help my time. There.
He was also in the what was the other one from back then? not the boys from the Black Stuff. Auf Wiedersehen, Pet.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Matt Roach was in.
That's the one I was thinking.
Ah, you see, you were thinking about the wrong bloody program all the time.
That's
You
the
don't know what you're
that was
talking
about the
about.
Geordies. Auf Wiedersehen, Pet. Matt Roach was in Indiana Jones as well, wasn't he?
He was also in the Bond movie as well.
Yeah. Wasn't it the one with Sean Connery? You Only Live Twice. The one where he came back.
Never Say Never Again.
That's the one.
There we go. We also get some film trivia in here as well.
Yeah, see? Wood turning, food, film, television, show.
No,
Mike's just said he used to train at one of Pat Roach's at Pat Roach's gym, where he had a training machine from one of his movies. There you go.
Brilliant.
Yeah, Bernard Hill was in the Boys from the Black Stuff. Leslie Hughes. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. Yeah.
He was a wrestler, Douglas. That's right. That's where he started.
JP has said, Auf Wiedersehen, Pet. That sounds like a Geordie German. That is exactly what it was about, Jamie. Go and watch it. It's brilliant.
Now, Doug, have you checked your depth yet to see how much further you can go?
I was just about to do that.
I
Miles,
kind of
checked
thought
miles.
that might be the case.
I checked the sides, but I haven't checked the bottom yet because I had a big lump in there still. Now it's time. Now it's time.
Oh, you use that system, do you? Oh,
Because
Yeah.
I want to know where the bottom of my jaws are, not where.
Yeah, Mark's got a different system to that, which doesn't
makes me
work.
go through the bottom of my balls.
I've got an inch to go yet.
You've got an
Yeah,
inch
I've-
to go, or it's only an inch left.
Well, there's an inch between here and the top of my jaws.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just checking.
Don't forget you're using the
You're-
mortars.
That's
Just
why I wanted to know where the top of my jaws were.
Yeah, did you allow though for your mortise?
It doesn't,
Yes.
Ruby. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
jaws?
yeah,
Be-
yeah.
be-
That was my
Right.
fault.
The way this system is set up is that it checks where the end of the jaws are.
Okay.
But that's the bottom of the mortars.
That was what I thought, Mark.
JP's got one of my dead pages. Yeah, I know. I lovingly made it, sent it to him.
Oh, you never made me one though.
He immediately painted it blue. Or white. I painted it blue and he painted it white, one or the other. No,
Sure
Ruby, I
wasn't
never
black
made you
and
one because you
yellow?
never asked for one. Sorry, Wayne.
You sure it wasn't black and yellow he painted it?
No.
Well, you could have painted it pink to match your tutu. I think pink looks good on you, Mark.
I do look good in pink, actually. I wore it a couple of times last week. Pink, not the tutu. I did not take the tutu on the ship.
I can't believe Kim let you get away with that.
Wasn't going to happen to him when
Matt
I wore that.
Harbour has said, "Oh, yeah, I'm a proud card-carrying member of the Funnel Club. I think we all are, Matt, to tell you the truth."
Absolutely.
Oh, AGK.
Absolutely.
Do you know what? You've just reminded me. I knew I had one to make some. Couldn't remember who it was
Rob,
for.
Rob has said, needed a commission, someone to make a wooden bowl with or without wings for an up-and-coming wedding gift. Rob, send me a message. I can do that for you.
I have a feeling he's having a little bit of a Mickey take there.
I'm
Seeing
not
as that
particularly
was
bothered.
Seeing as that was a comment he made earlier on my Facebook.
But I will do another. Seeing as how Mark actually turned off the wings of the bowl I did, the winged bowl, I
No,
will
I
need to do
didn't.
him another. Yes, you did.
You liar, I didn't.
Well, I know
I didn't.
I know one thing. He doesn't want me to make the bowl because the shipping costs
Where
would
is
be
it?
horrendous.
Where is it? It's
Right. Douglas has said we need to do plans for the depth gauge. I will show you how easy it is.
I can show
Tomorrow
it here in
night.
just. I'll show it here in just a minute.
I didn't
It is.
turn
It
the
is
wings off.
really easy.
You
I
rat
thought you
bag.
did.
No, I painted it white.
All right. Okay.
I made it thinner and made a bowl, put a bowl out and painted it white. It's still got both our initials on the bottom. Show it to you at the end.
Right. Okay. Right. Tomorrow night, I am just doing a bowl tomorrow night on my live, so I will show the depth gauge. I will show how it works, and I'll show how easy it is to make.
Sounds like a plan.
I do have
All
one
right.
of Wayne's ones as well. It's quite easy to use.
Now the thing is, right, just to get this right, and right from the start, it wasn't my design. Loads of people have done designs like it, and I actually copied my design from Chris Fisher, the blind wood turner. That's where I copied my design from. Yes, Ian, I am going to be on at 8 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just
tomorrow night is the Worldwide Woodturners, Ian. And that's what Wayne will be on.
this piece
No,
right here.
no. Right, sorry, Doug.
Go ahead.
I'm not on the Worldwide Wood Turners tomorrow night.
Oh, I'm
Um,
sorry. I misunderstood you then.
No, this is on my usual live tomorrow night, Ruby.
Okay.
3
Okay.
o'clock our time.
I'll be on the World Wood Turners doing a demo in a couple of weeks.
And this is what Wayne is talking about, and he'll explain it better. But this piece goes on the bedways, goes up against the headstock. I've even got it marked headstock, and I've got it labeled for which chuck it is. So that goes in there. This piece is just a flat piece that sits on my lathe with an upright that takes this dowel up to my center point. When this edge and the point of this rod are lined up, they against all the way against this other piece. Let me pull that out. When it's like that, when it's slid up against the headstock, the end of my chuck jaws are right here. So
Now,
when I've got,
can I just say, with the offset of the camera there, what you're not seeing properly is that the dowel rod
yes,
actually is right in line with the end of the piece of wood on the bed.
yeah, that's how it actually is.
Yeah.
So I can run this up, and when I put that rod against the bottom of my bowl, I can look at the bottom down here. If I were to take that off, anyway, let's pretend that the bowl's not there. This is against the headstock. I can bring this up, put this against the bottom of my bowl, and look down here, and this is the distance between the bottom of the wood and the top of my jaws. So right now they're sitting right like this.
That's how much wood you've got left.
Yeah, I've got that much wood left. So I don't have to worry about it. I can now sand this without any worry of going through my bottom because I know I've got at least a ½ inch of wood. Does that make sense? And Wayne can explain it better down the road.
No,
Yeah, because
that made perfect sense, Doug.
It would be a really ridiculous thing to sand through the bottom of a bowl, wouldn't it?
I've never done that either, Mark. Have you?
Haven't you? Oh, it's fun. It's great fun. Especially
I
live
have
when
done
you
it
do.
more than once. In fact,
I
did it
remember
here
Mark.
just a week or two
I
ago.
do remember Mark doing the box one time, and when he held it up to the camera, he had to have his finger over the bottom of the box. So
I did.
Yep,
Yes.
I've done it.
It's amazing what you can hide on YouTube.
Now Ben wants to know if
Sorry,
you need
Bob.
a different design for metric.
no, Ben.
It's universal.
But JP did say, I just realised that the blind woodturner's depth gauge is better than Mark's.
I love you, Jamie.
Oh dear me.
I guess I'm just paranoid about going through the bottoms, and that's why I check as often as I do.
Absolutely.
And
See?
Susan has said she loves the shape of the outside of the bowl. Yep, I've got to agree, Susan. It is absolutely a great shape.
I just
Speaking of
wish
which-
we could smell the camphor from here.
Oh, it's I'm very grateful. It's not as bad as sometimes it is. I've had it for a long time, and it's not nearly as loud as normal. So I'm grateful. I do need to turn this thing on though because it's going to dust me out here shortly. Holy
Yeah,
cow.
and JP also said, in Mark's defence, Chris is an RPT too. And when he came up with the depth gauge, he was an RPT and Mark wasn't.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mark.
That's okay. I'll just go and cry somewhere else.
No comment.
Yeah. Shut it, JP. You're outnumbered. There's 2 RPTs in here tonight.
And at the wood show, I was very proudly wearing my RPT badges on my turning smock.
Well done.
Excellent.
First international RPT, first female international RPT, first Canadian RPT.
Definitely. First North American.
Got a few more now. We've got a couple of Irish ones. I think we've got a French one now as well.
Oh, that's great. Did any of you happen to see the scepter that Stuart Mortimer made for?
Oh
Yes.
yes. Oh yes, I saw that.
He showed it to me in its stages as he was making it. Absolutely brilliant.
That silver finial of his was just stunning. The whole
Oh, yeah.
thing's beautiful.
He showed me how he makes those too.
He's way too clever for his own good.
So, I don't know what. Well, I do know why. That just
And the
reminded me. Malcolm Tibbetts' birthday is today.
The piece he won the Masters Award with as well was exquisite. That
Yeah.
Oh yes,
beautiful dark twist.
yes, it really was. Yeah, with the dark twist finial and the twist in the hollow as well.
Yeah, I think that was walnut he did that in.
Yes.
That's not easy. That's not easy in walnut because that's a
Now,
tough wood to do that in.
is this a sanding sealer you're putting on?
Yes, I've got a couple of places in the grain, particular. Well, it's all the end grain. There's a pith in it right there, and then this is opposite. There's a pith right on the edge, and so I'm just stiffening up the grain just a little bit so it'll sand better.
Now, Robert
So
has,
no, go on, Ruby. You can do that.
Robert has asked if there's a hierarchy in the RPT where a younger member has to sharpen the senior member's tools and apply cream and jam on their biscuits while getting them coffee.
Yes, there is,
in
Robert.
in my case, they have to bring me tea instead of coffee.
Excuse me, I've got seniority on you, missus.
Excuse me.
I was an RPT before you were.
That
Where's my jam and cream?
That may be, but I'm still older than you are, Mark, and you have to respect your elders.
Yeah, and then you got to make sure you get it in the right order. Some of them want jam and cream, some want cream and jam.
I have to tell this story. when Ruby became an RPT, for those of you that don't know, and we haven't broadcasted a lot, Ruby is my master. I'm her apprentice. And I said to her when she became an RPT, I went, "Oh, we're on an equal status now. Do I still have to call you master?" What do you think? Isn't that right, Master?
Well, you were on your knees when you asked me that question.
I took it out. Yeah, I get on my knees for anybody.
Well, you should tell the rest of the story that I had applied for the RPT years ago, but they had said to me they weren't accepting non-British applicants. And it wasn't until you and Terry and Pete and Brian were approached and you said that I should have the chance to be one as well since I was mentoring you. And then out of the blue, not having known this conversation, I got a message saying that I could apply.
Yep, because the committee changed its rules and started to accept foreign applicants.
So it's all your
International
fault and my fault that they've done that. Oh yes, Mark is now the servant to 2 women.
That's true.
That means he has to give us both hugs.
As long as I don't have to give you diamond rings as well, I go out
No,
of business.
I don't like diamond. Remember my name is Ruby, not Diamond.
There's no hint in that. Oh, I got the
Yeah.
diamonds. I meant to tell you, Ruby, the diamonds in Kim's ring were Canadian diamonds.
Oh well, then they were high quality.
I've got to say though, Ruby, that Jane is still looking forward to you coming across for her Ruby wedding anniversary present.
I
You cheapskate.
Actually, I was going to be flying to Israel to visit with Eli Avasira and then stopping in to see you folks on the way back. And unfortunately, that trip had to be canceled because those doggone guys wanted to blow stuff up. So they blew up my trip too.
Oh, that's a nightmare.
You should just go over there, Ruby, and bang a few heads together and sort them out.
Well, the problem is getting my rifles through customs. I used to be able to get my rifles through customs with ease.
I don't think you'd have any problem picking 1 or 2 up when you get there.
Yeah, but mine are all more accurate than theirs. Mine were Olympic level rifles, and they were centered so that they could shoot fairly accurately.
The boys got to go. See you later, Roy.
Night,
Bye,
night, Roy. Catch you later.
You know, part of the fascination with wood turning is what he's doing now and watching all of the dust going into the extractor.
Shoo! Turn that noisemaker off. Still a little tear out right there. I need to do it. Put some more sanding sealer on there and hit that again. I may even have to run over it with a gouge.
That is a pretty looking bowl, though.
Well, thank you. Get some of the dust off of it, and let me spray it with some alcohol, and you can really see it for at least for a couple of seconds anyway. All right.
I know it's been said before, Ben, but I do worry about you.
I was just thinking the same thing.
Worry about Ben?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I don't find your drill to be erotic.
Ben does, though.
Now that's interesting. Robert says, while we're talking about guns, someone emailed him about being a vendor at a craft fair where they had a drawing for an AR-15 to go in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Go Texas.
Certainly wouldn't occur here in Canada.
I I was looking through Facebook last night, and I'm on a page with some folks who that's all they talk about is the craft shows, the weekend craft shows and whatnot. And there was a lady, she was pitching a fit. She didn't know that court days actually sold guns. Court days started with selling off the excess of what was confiscated by the courts, which includes guns. And this lady said, "I had no idea. I won't be going back. I sold a lot of stuff." Said she sold about 15 or 20 times her booth space.
I'll be back in a
But
couple of
she,
minutes.
Well, I'd love to sell off some of my firearms, but our current laws right now don't permit it.
right? All right. I'm going to go ahead and do some abrasive paste on here. Let's slow it down a little more, even though it was turned down some. But I want y'all to have an idea of what this is going to look like once it's finished.
In Ben's defense, I think he is mostly left unattended or unsupervised.
Yeah, Rich can sell firearms easy enough in Florida, but up here in Canada, our laws are a little more stringent right now.
Yes. Of course, they're trying to do some more stringent stuff with our gun laws here too, Ruby. I think we're going to have a new civil war before much longer.
Well, they did a study and they proved that the firearms in Canada that are used illegally are 90% smuggled in to the country. So why they make these laws to punish the law-abiding people that took all of their qualification courses and registered and paid all their fees and crap, I don't understand.
I blame all those dodgy moose. It's them.
You just aren't accurate enough, Mark.
Or is it the Cobra chickens?
No, so most,
It's the Cobra chickens picking up the guns in America, flying them into Canada, dropping them for the moose to pick up and sell
Right.
on the black market.
Yeah, and see, all my guns are used for punching holes in paper.
Yep.
They
really
never
thought-
get the
I
only
was worried
thing
where you were going with that.
the only thing that gets only living thing that gets fired at from me is with my camera. That's a good view.
Jamie wants to know if you're tall. Doug.
Me?
So how tall are you? It looks like you're
Yes.
struggling to reach the control box to your MIDI lathe.
Well, it's not a mini lathe to begin with, but I've got the lathe packed up on. It says the legs are as high as they'll go. Then I've got 4x4s underneath that. If you ask my wife, I'm tall. She's only 5 foot tall. I'm 5'7".
Well, you're taller than I am.
I'm up right there in the vicinity with Shug and Terry and a couple others.
Oh no, Andrew's got to be the small. Oh no, Lucy's probably the smallest.
I didn't
Full
say
of clo-
Andrew. I said Shug.
Yeah, no. Andrew is shorter than Shug by 2 inches.
Yes, I know. Yeah.
Lucy is very small.
Yes.
I did hear a new description for myself on Wednesday. Coming back
Oh,
onto
hang
the
on.
ship.
Well, Mark, can I just stop you there? Is this allowed?
Yes.
All
Apparently,
right, okay.
I'm 5 foot 12 inches.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know.
Literally, the lady in the booth at passport control said height. I said 6 foot. She said, "You mean 5 foot 12 inches?"
Yeah,
just-
my lord.
I say a thing because she had the passport stamp in her hand, and I wanted to get back on the ship.
There you go.
Well, I felt like a midget being between Mark and Pete.
Yeah.
And then last weekend between Mike and Craig, I felt like another midget.
JP has said that he has got I think, both Shug's height and Andrew's height on his wall, and they come up to the table on his bandsaw.
Oh dear.
Yeah. For in case somebody's wondering after that conversation, this is a Nova 1624, which is it's a large MIDI lathe, freestanding. It has its own legs, very stable, very good lathe. I've added the electronic control box, which is where you see my Worldwide Woodturner sticker right there. And but anyway, and then I put it up. When I bought it, I was doing a lot of hollow forms, and so I put it up on 4x4 so that I didn't have to bend over so far to see up in that hollow form. And so now people who are taller than me come and they look at my lathe and said, "How can you turn on a lathe that tall?" Well, that's what I've gotten used to. It's kind of like Emma Cook getting used to her lathe.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Yeah, so she,
Emma being the height she is, Emma's only 4'10" and a half, I
Right.
think. I'm sure she puts the half in there.
If she's
But
half, she does.
she is only ever turned on lathes that haven't been adjusted. So
Yes.
she's always turned on tall lathes, and that's what she's used to. And with the way she turns, what's the difference?
Right.
exactly.
Saw a video recently. It had a view in it that I had not seen of her turning, and she really does have her tool up in her armpit. But
Oh
that's how
yeah,
she's used to
definitely.
doing it.
Oh yes.
So who are we to
The other
say it's
thing about
wrong?
when with her bolt turn and gouge, she does not use any jigs when she's sharpening her bolt turn and gouge,
Right.
and
Right.
she has one side of the bolt turn and gouge at a different bevel than the other side of the bolt turn and
Yes.
gouge,
Aids
because
It's
down.
that is the way she was taught to sharpen.
It's like Richard Raffin's asymmetric bowl gouge.
Yeah, asymmetric. Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah, because if Emma gets a catch, it doesn't jump out of her hand. It catapults her over the lathe
Mm-hmm.
because it's something under her arm. Not that
No,
Emma ever gets catches.
Yeah, Lucy said we need to do a photo lineup at Harrogate, shortest to the tallest. I
Like what
remember
JP
having now. Lucy will know about this, or Andy will know about this. Lucy's other half. That's the way, and Mark will know about this as well. That's the way we used to do the lineups for standing on parade. You'd have the
like
shortest
dress.
on the left.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd have the shortest on the left. You'd have the tallest on the right, and they'd go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, depending on what rank you were standing, whether it was the first rank, the second rank, or the third rank. So basically, what you got was the majority of the whole lineup. When a photograph was being taken or being on parade, they would be fairly equal between all three.
Mm-hmm.
That's a gorgeous piece of wood there, Doug.
Thank
That really
you.
is, actually. It's got some lovely
That's
grain in it.
I love camphor just for that. Even if it didn't have the smell to it, I would still love the wood. But I do love the smell, especially when it's like this piece. It's not so stinking strong. I think the first piece I cut was at I was doing a demo at the fair, the state fair, and the shavings were directly under the lathe, and I had to stop about halfway through and scrape the shavings out from under me because they're burning my eyes. All right, see if we can buff this up just a little bit.
I like what JP said about Lucy. He says you've been in enough lineups in your time, Lucy.
Yeah, JP also said that's the way to bring it back on topic, Ruby. That's the RPT in you.
Oh dear.
I try not to be an RPT in these things. People
Well,
get
you
bored
know
of me
that
doing
the conversation came up on the weekend, and like a lot of turners have very specific styles. You can look at their piece and say immediately, well, that's a Nick Agar piece, or that's a Colwyn Way, or whatever. And I don't have a specific style like that. I do a wide variety of styles. But
Yeah.
I think where my strength is more in the teaching.
That
I
and
would
being able to
like
do the different styles.
I would slightly disagree with you there, Ruby. You've got a reputation for the very, very technical, intricate, how did she do that pieces.
True.
Well, I had one fellow that didn't think I could turn anything small and delicate, so I took a piece on this trip with me and showed him that I could, in fact.
Your Chinese ball secret box is beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Later, if Doug has a moment, I'll show you that little piece that I was just
Um,
talking about.
Okay. Yeah, have it ready.
Right.
We'll switch over to
yeah.
it.
Della said, "What is your plans for the finished ball, Doug?"
Sell it.
Exactly. That's what I like to hear.
Like
Yeah.
95% of all wood turners. It's for sale.
Yes. Once this is finished, it will go to my newest shop. I just started another shop yesterday. Took them just a handful of pieces, but it's a brand new store. Just opened up this week. So I'm tickled to be down there and be in their shop. But this one will go in that particular shop. So, all right, we're going to stop right at this point.
Out of
And y'all will get to
curiosity,
see.
how much would you sell your bowl for?
Eleven and a half inch.
This bowl will end up being about $95.
Okay. I'm just curious because prices vary so much all over the
Right.
place.
And I've been debating here recently, and I had this discussion yesterday. In fact, I'm wondering in these retail stores if I'm not underpriced, which is why I'm not selling as much as I'd like to. So,
Whack the price up. Make them feel like it's worth more.
Now, Robert at Hodgepodge just said, "Do you guys have a preference on shops, commission, or rent space?" Now, what I right, I belong to a craft cooperative where I have my pieces in two shops. One of them is seasonals, so that'll be closing on the 31st of October. But the other one goes year round, and that's what I do. I pay a monthly rental to include all the extras, the heating and everything like that. But I don't pay any commission on what is sold.
I've got one of each. I've got one
So
shop.
so that's what I do.
I've got one shop that hasn't got a massive footfall, and I pay them commission on pieces they sell. And the other one's got a
Yep.
much higher footfall, and I rent space.
Right. Jane has just reminded me that as part of that cooperative, I do have to do 2 days a month shop duty. So I'm actually in at the shop, talking to people, they're selling stuff and things like that. That's about the only extra.
I'm going to stop right there. Look, that's that's beautiful. Nice
Yes,
chatoyance in
it
that
is.
bowl.
It is.
And it's on both sides. It's not a freak thing. It's it's just great chatoyance in there. Great variants of the colors. Um, I do need to come back and do a little more work right through there. It's not anywhere near where it needs to be, but I wanted to get it that far just so you could see what it's going to look like.
I
And it
love
came
the
out
I love the
pretty okay.
colors in it.
Of course, I haven't done the backside yet, and you can see it goes from this just kind of plain wood really to that with just a little finish. So
Beautiful.
there you have it, folks. Appreciate y'all coming in. Oh, Ruby, let me bring you up on camera so you can show that piece. There we go. Now if it'll just come on. There it is.
Wow, how did you get that on your lathe?
Let's see.
And it's got a little star inside, hasn't it? It's
Yep.
Chinese.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
that's it.
does.
Yeah, it's one of those Chinese balls with a star inside.
Wow.
And
Wow.
Amazing.
if I don't have a ruler here, but it's about maybe 2 inches high.
Shame you made it so big and bulky.
That's true. But I didn't have smaller tools at the time.
All right.
Dear
Well,
me.
I hope we'll get to see that.
In person one day.
Well, yeah, or even Wednesday night.
Okay, I'll bring it along and I'll actually measure it.
Yeah, there'll be some folks be glad to see that. Beautiful little piece.
But the guys, and I even made a special box for it.
There you go.
And I used one of my Rose engines for the box.
Oh,
So it just fits in. And then a little bit of stuffing to keep the finial safe. And that's how I transport it.
Nice. That reminds me of a piece that Wayne did a while back. A little
Oh, the
goblet. A little
Yeah,
goblet with a box and a box and a box and a box.
yes, yeah. Oh, I haven't done one of them for quite a while.
Oh, there's an idea. Oh, and by the way, there's your wings, still on.
Oh,
just
right,
turned it into-
okay.
I just turned it into a deeper dish.
Yeah.
So then
Actually, I like it that way.
it's still got mine and Wayne's signature on the bottom.
There you
That's
go.
great.
There you go.
I was just experimenting with some milk paint, so I'm finished with it.
I
Right.
don't like the paint. I like the natural wood.
Just
Yeah.
playing.
Everybody likes something different, don't they?
Can I
Well, it's
just
been yeah, go ahead, Wayne.
can I just say that I did that wing bowl down at Yandles
Yandles.
a year past September, and that was done to a tool finish. I did not sand that or anything. It was done to a tool finish.
That's
That's
Just see a
great.
close up. There's that bottom, and it's other than putting finish on it, it's done.
I like those beads.
Well, you
Yeah.
have to put your name on it too.
Yes, it'll get. I'll have my 3 circles on there eventually, as well as my name, the date, and the wood. It'll go on there. But that's a very shallow mortise, and what is that?
Right.
Oh,
It's
Right.
almost 1/8 of an inch.
Rob has just said no sanding. Don't like it.
don't
Rob,
like it.
you were actually standing just across the way from me.
Yeah,
I
it was
was
like
turning
over
that.
there.
He was standing just across the
He
way
was
from
10
me
feet
when I
away.
was turning that.
Ready to catch it when it flew.
That was
But it
before he
didn't
knew
fly.
what wood turners were like.
There
That was the day his life changed forever.
you go.
It was that was the day that I gave Rob some information, and Klinkspor in the UK has never been the same since.
No,
Yeah.
two? What did I do?
Speaking of,
I hope that means I'm still going to get a Christmas card.
Oh, cheers,
Oi.
Rob. There's
Oi,
no
monkey.
need for that, Rob.
What's that?
Klingspor. I've got to break these out and start using them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good night, Gerard.
Night,
All right.
Gerard.
I think we've probably kept everybody awake long enough. It is good to see everybody and to have these 3 with me today. It's been a great day. Bowl turned
Night,
out
Jim.
okay. So we're gonna say goodnight here and let everybody go about their business. So Ruby, thank you for coming. Thank you very much. Mark,
Thanks for inviting us.
Thank
Mark,
you.
are you yawning? Are we putting you to sleep?
I was going. At Rob's comment.
Ruby, best turner. Yeah, of course. What else is he
No,
going to say?
no, I will argue that till the cows come home. I am not the best
She doesn't
turner.
use Klingspor though.
Well, yes, I have news for you, Mark. I had a whole cupboard full of it fall on me out of my shelf one not very long ago. I opened the
my.
cupboard and it all came
See,
falling
she
down.
hides it in the cupboard. She don't
No,
use it, hides it away.
I store it in a safe place.
All right. Well, Wayne, good to have you along as well. Thank you so much, all
No
three
props,
of you.
Doug.
It's been a
Anytime,
great
anytime.
day, and I appreciate all your help with all three of you. Your help with the technical issues, and like Wayne said earlier, it seems like the last few days technology has not been our friend. So
It
here's for
hasn't.
hoping. No, between YouTube and StreamYard and OBS and anybody else that comes along, as well as our hardware, even it can be a pain. So it's worked out.
Well,
It worked out, and everything came back alive. So we're great.
I've just noticed Andy Leslie was in. Good evening,
Yeah,
Andy.
Andy.
Good
Andy.
night, Andy.
All
Sorry,
right.
didn't you come in, Andy?
So good night, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Good night.
Say good night.
Good night.